Daniel Day-Lewis retired from acting 8 years ago, and yet he is back in a new theatrical release. I wonder which director was able to pull him out of Oh. Well, I guess if you can use your nepotism powers to pull Daniel Day-Lewis back into acting, you should. Daniel Day-Lewis and his son Ronan also co-wrote the movie, and I believe this is Ronan's directorial debut, so I was very curious. Daniel Day-Lewis plays a guy with a lot of trauma from his past, both when he was a child and events that happened to him when he was a soldier. It causes him to leave his pregnant girlfriend and go live in isolation in the woods for like 20 years. He completely leaves civilization behind. And at the time the movie starts, his brother, played by Sean Bean, has now married that girlfriend, has been raising the son and taking care of him. The son's been getting into a lot of trouble lately, and Sean Bean treks out into the woods to go find Daniel Day-Lewis and see if he can bring him back, see if he can introduce him to his son. So there's a lot of room there for some good character drama, and this movie definitely has some of that. Daniel Day-Lewis is, do I need to say it? The guy's a pretty good actor. He's incredible. He delivers some great monologues in this. And his son can clearly tell, I just need to let the camera focus on his face. These really long takes where he just lets him go and go and go. And the subject matter of these monologues is very heavy. He's describing these things that happened to him in the past, or these things that he has done in the past that are very dark. And the emotion just comes through so strongly in his performance when he's going over all of this. And Sean Bean is mostly sitting there reacting to all of this, but he's also very good. When those conversations are happening, it's pretty good. I like slowly getting more information about the situation and about this man's life. Sean Bean slowly trying to convince him bit by bit that maybe he should return to society and meet his child. So if this was like a 90-minute conversation piece, it would make for some really good drama, showcasing some great performances. The issue lies with the fact that it is 2 hours long. Luckily, it's a very pretty movie. The colors really pop. I love the greens of these woods. It looks like a place I would love to take a walk through or sit around somewhere and read a book. It's this very cozy atmosphere while also feeling a little intimidating because there's this storm that's constantly brewing overhead. But especially for this time of year, that breezy, woodsy atmosphere is exactly what I want, and it looked great. The whole movie has some really nice stylistic shots to it. Ronan Day-Lewis clearly has some potential in the visual department, but there's a lot of time really just spent on not much. There are a lot of quiet scenes, and some of those can build atmosphere, but a lot of it feels like the director thinking that the story's a little bit deeper than it actually is, and it feels a little style over substance. As much as I like some of the visuals here, there are some that go fully into the abstract and the bizarre and the symbolic, and it just feels like this is my first film and this is deep. You're reaching, you're trying to present something here that's a little beyond what you've actually written on the page. This is not necessary. It feels a little pretentious. Now we got all these scenes of the brothers just dancing with each other, and it's like, all right, if we trimmed a lot of that fat and just focused on the core of what you have here, which is a fairly strong script with great actors, if you just had it really focused on that dialogue and uncovering the layers of these characters as they talk to each other, that really would have been enough. But it's like the director felt like he had to make it bigger and he had to make it more, and not everything needs to be like that. I respect the ambition, for sure, and I'd like to see whatever else he ends up doing. I don't know if Daniel Day-Lewis is gonna come back for real or if this was just a favor, but this movie really drags its feet. It takes a long time to get to that first really engaging conversation. Luckily, it's a good-looking movie. There is some solid atmosphere built up, but there's just so much time in between the most interesting parts, and you don't actually have enough going on. The story is not complex enough. It's mainly two characters. We cut back to the wife and son from time to time, but there's not actually enough there to drag it out for 2 hours. You don't actually need all of this abstract imagery that maybe vaguely kind of ties into what you're talking about, but is really completely unnecessary. So the parts of the movie that worked really worked for me when these actors get to have these great conversations with each other, delivering this dialogue, discussing these very harrowing times in their lives that it made me really feel for them and understand them. And you've got these themes of abuse and generational trauma, how Daniel Day-Lewis's father and other father figures in his life failed him, and now he has, of course, abandoned his own child.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
Yeah, you did. You sure did. But there's just not enough there for it to be 2 hours long, and so the overall experience kind of dragged. It also had a good musical score, I'll give it that, but if I had to rate it, I couldn't go any higher than like a 6. It might even be more like a 5. It's in that range because it has good to it, and there are parts of it that are definitely worth seeing, but it's not something to rush out to the theater to see. It's not something I would revisit. It didn't overall come together for me. But if you've seen Anemone, the fuck's Anemone? That's not what it's called. But if you've seen Anemone, leave your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with anything that I said here? No matter what, I would love to hear from you down there. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time.